Hello and welcome back to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. As you see here, I have the Ford F-150, which is waiting to begin. It is waiting for work to begin. I have also done a bunch of work on this car. It's not completely. It's not even probably 2/3 done. I guess I could say it is. It still needs engine work. I think I pulled the engine out. Yeah, I did. There it is. But I actually kind of want to go... Let's take a look here real quick and see if there are any Mercedeses in here to do. And there are not. So let's go to the Junkyard real quick. If there's nothing in the Junkyard, we'll do the F-150. Okay, here we are. What am I looking at here? That looks like another Reventon. No, Aventador, okay. And this is an RX-3. It's actually a really satisfying car to do. Let's see, that's an MR2. And that's a Mini Cooper. An Atlanta. Doesn't look like there's anything in here I really want to work on. I mean, I like doing the RX-3. It's cheap. And it usually builds out pretty nice. I think I've spotlighted an RX-3 once already. And I know I did the Aventador. I think this has the Hoyera V12. So yeah, I don't want to do it. The only one of these I actually would buy is the RX-3 because... You know what? I'm gonna buy it anyway. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna do it later, but I'm gonna buy it because I like it. Okay, so let's go and get to work on that Ford. Okay, so first thing I want to do is clean the thing up. And there it doesn't seem like there's much of anything. Well, there's a bumper. Doesn't seem like there's much in the way of body parts on it at the moment. Wow, that's the V8. That's the Mustang 5.0 V8. You may remember that I did one of these F-150s, the police version of the F-150 that had a V6B in it. This is a straight up V8. That's going to be interesting. Does it Does it have a radiator? It does. Oh, I didn't buy a radiator. That thing is going to be right up against the engine, too. Seat 2, leather D. Presumably it has a bench for the back. The F350 steering wheel. Bench earthquake, there we go. It looks alright. I think that the this isn't what I want. I think that the F350 interior is all like tan. Yeah, it's all these cream colored ones. Wouldn't suit this interior very well. I'm gonna see if I can repair. The only body parts we really have are like the front end and the fender. Didn't repair that front end. Or the hood. So that's front end D. Okay, and it looks like the doors, there's only one set of doors, only one hood. What about the rear doors? There they are. Okay, now we can get rid of this stuff. And the front window is also... there's no variance for the front window. This is an XLT, so presumably it's the XLT fenders. See what the bumpers and the mirrors are. So fender C, mirror C. Ah, it's chromed. That's the differential right there. I think I repaired the other fender, didn't I? Okay, making progress here. What do we got? Headlights and taillights are generic. Front bumper C. Okay, it's really starting to look like something now. What about the bed? It's probably like a rear clamshell. Yep, rear clamshell. And trunk. Alright, that should get us all up on the body. Perfect. Okay, so rear muffler V8, rear muffler B V8, and exhaust pipe C. I love how that clips through the drive axle there. We only have one exhaust. We don't have a dual exhaust. It's interesting. Oh, I see. And what is that? CB6 V6B. That's not going to match up. There's no way. There's no way that's going to match up with the, yeah, see, there's the exhaust manifold right there. It's not going to connect with that. Oh well. What are you going to do when you're dealing with a modded car, right? I really need to have one of these in here at the same time with the F350, which is the DLC Ford truck, because I think that this bed is not as long as the F350 bed, and I don't have them side by side. But I do remember having the F350 in here, and there was no space between the back of the truck and the door. I mean, it was like you couldn't do this. So I really wish I had an F350 in here to compare. And what I'm going to do with this, I actually saw one of these cars driving around town a few days ago, and as I have mentioned multiple times, red is my favorite color, and this truck was beautiful, beautiful red. I mean, just overall gorgeous, and it was a nice bright sunny day, and it was so beautiful. And I'm not even a truck guy, but I actually kind of surreptitiously followed this guy around for a little bit longer than I needed to, just because I wanted to keep looking at it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm building a truck that looks like that one that I saw driving around town. Actually looking forward to driving this with the V8 in it, though. The other one with the V6 I thought was a little bit, I mean, it was for a truck, which, like I said, I'm not really into trucks, but it seemed a bit less grunty. This has a starter on it. My God, they never have starters on them. Anyway, it didn't seem to be like, you wouldn't expect to see a V6 in a big truck. And I'm not sure that one even had the option of putting a V8 in it. This one I noticed had the option of switching out for several other V8s, including the supercharged V8, which I think would be a terrible idea in this vehicle, because that would be like far too much power for it. You'd have to put big tires and slicks on it. You could race it, I guess, but that's not something I would do. The 5.0 V8 from the Mustang, it's the Coyote, I think it is going to be more than powerful enough when we're done with it. Okay, now let's go ahead and process this stuff. There should only be 4 bushings to deal with. And we have, I have to remember I have parts in here that go to the GT350. So this is only one set of brakes, even though I have sets of both. Well, since I have the back end of the GT350 taken apart, and I bought the brakes for it, but that means I need to buy another set of rear brakes. Let's see. This is all this stuff is red, so I'm just going to flush it all. Okay, the gearbox. Again, this is stuff for the other car. Okay, shock absorber B, need to get those. I'm going to dismount these wheels and see if I can reuse the rims. I think that one was 18. %10 on that one. We repaired the starter. Didn't get to repair the gearbox, which is a bummer. Wheel hub 3. And what was that? Classic 1817. And I'm going to give it sport tires instead of standard tires. Let's see, 245/70. Yep, okay, match the sizes, that's perfect. Okay, let's go and chrome those wheels. I think they'll look better. We walked right into the tire. That other tire is done over there. I can see it down there. Just bolt on the rest of this stuff and then we can go get it and finish up this rear end. Actually, I still have one to do, don't I? Yep. For some reason, I was thinking that was it. I don't know why. It's done already. I can't believe how fast it goes. If you stand there and watch it, it takes forever. But if you walk... Whoops, is this the right wheel? Classic 18. The 16s go for the other car. See, I have to remember again that I have parts for a different car in my inventory at the same time. Okay, yes, that does look sharp. I like that a whole lot. kind of think they should have used the engine and the drive train from the F350, because you can see that front drive axle there just kind of hanging in the air, and there's no transfer case or anything going from the transmission to the front, so those front wheels aren't really attached to the drivetrain. It's like that Dodge Durango that I did, where none of the stuff underneath, none of the drive elements were actually hooked up under the car. I mean, once it was all assembled, at least as far as it went in that car, it wouldn't have been able to move because nothing was connected, even though it said it was done. Let's go ahead and yank that engine out. There's actually quite a lot in the way of parts on this thing. I mean, we're going to throw away a lot of it right off the bat, but there's actually quite a bit here. Okay, now we need to process our way through this stuff. There should only be 8 bushings, because it's front shock A. So we have the 4 for the crossmember and 4 for the lower suspension arms. Not the small ones. And I'll go ahead and get these. Oops, I need those right there. And I know I need front sway bar A, sway link A, steering rack, tie rods. That should be here, outer and inner. So I need a front sway bar. And a set of front brakes. Ventilated discs on the front always. And I'll need hubs. Front axle knuckle cover. I think there were drive shafts. The rest of this stuff we could potentially repair. So let's get these assembled and then get those wheels dismounted, see if we can save those rims. 32% on that one. We'll certainly be able to repair that. And 10%, so we'll probably get one and not the other. Front shock A, so these can go. Yeah, only one rim. Whoops. Front drive axle. crap, which one of those was that? Oh, front drive shaft, not front drive axle. There was one more thing. What was it? It was a knuckle. Yeah. Front steering knuckle A. You can usually get away with typing the first two letters of each word. So when there's a lot of work, you can usually, this works, see? F-R-S-T-N-K-N-A, that'll get you this. Need another rim, and I need to buy tires. So that's classic 18 again, and that will still be here. And those were 245/70 again. Okay, we match the tire sizes. That's what we want. Even though the tire isn't there, it still catches me walking under it. It almost seems like the bead of the tire is overlapping the rim right here. That's really, I don't know if I'm happy with that. I always like to at least attach, because you can, I mean, the knuckle hangs in the air, you know, and I always like to at least attach the tie rod so the knuckle isn't just floating in the air like that, waiting for you to bolt more things to it. I think that the front end with the shock A, rather than the double wishbone front, goes together a little easier. There's only one suspension arm to deal with, and for some reason it just feels like a little bit less work assembling it. Just go get that last wheel real quick here, and then the rolling chassis will be done. Now that, my friends, is a good looking truck. It's going to look even better outside when the red really shines. And all the chrome on it, my God, it's beautiful. Okay, so what can we use here? This engine cover, hopefully we can use. That's garbage. And that's garbage, and this is garbage. Actually, there isn't a performance throttle B. There is a performance manifold, though, so that's trash. Performance spark plugs, of course. And power steering pump, so that's garbage. What else? The water pump pulley, the belts, all that stuff is trash. The rollers, crankshaft pulley. Come off. I clicked it, and then it was like, for some reason I was spacing on actually clicking on the bolt. Come on now. So that alternator is trash. Wasn't there some? No, I thought there were manifolds, but there weren't. Let's get this off. Oh, the water pump. Now the water pump we might be able to save. These timing shoes are trash, and the chains are the chains are trash. I keep forgetting that one cam gear has to come off before that one chain will come out. And this one has all the camshaft caps on it. Ugh. Engines with camshaft caps, with multiple camshaft caps, I swear are like my kryptonite. I mean, it's marginally better than dealing with rocker arms and push rods, but still. And there's like 16 of them, because there's 8 per head. Okay, let's pause for a minute, and then we'll go and get stuff that we actually know we need. Because I want to get these things. I think the chains are actually V8L. Yeah, the C. So that means we can nuke these bits. So here we have the heads and the manifolds and the intake manifold. So those are all major parts that we can replace. We don't have the camshaft, unfortunately. We didn't have exhaust manifolds before anyway. Let's get the alternator and the pump. I'm going to just nuke these camshaft caps because I know I need to buy 16 of them anyway. I'm going to need to buy the cam gears. I'm going to need these head covers here. I think there's a coil cover too. Yeah, there is. Which reminds me I need to buy coils. And I'll go ahead and buy the pistons as well. Okay, so that means we can flush these and these. Let's get our pulleys. Gonna need both of these, and I'm gonna need a belt tensioner as well. I'm pretty sure there isn't a throttle B V8 in here, but yeah, I knew there wasn't. I don't know why I convinced myself there might be one. So we can attempt to repair these parts. And we need oil V8, and I think it's just oil pan V8 because there isn't a V8J oil pan. I think there's some wires too that it needs, but let's nuke the old pistons and rings because I've already replaced those. And after all that, this is the stuff that we hopefully are going to be able to use again. Something broke. I think it was the timing cover. Oh, we got the block. Huh, okay. So throttle B V8. VHA crankshaft, VHA timing cover. I don't think I actually have everything I need, but I think we have enough to get a long way there. because I think that there's like some wires that go from the coils to the something, I don't remember. I think there's like some wires. There might even be that. Actually, I hope this isn't the engine. There's one of those Ford engines has it has like 16 spark plugs. Because there's a spark plug that goes on top in the piston, like in the cylinder head, and there's another one that goes down on the side. There might be a Dodge engine that had that. I don't remember. I don't think this is that one. I could be wrong. I don't think I've built as many of these engines as I have some of the others. Yeah, I figured it was just oil pan V8, because all the other oil pans were OHV variants. This one goes on like every other V8 that's not an overhead valve engine. It's too bad it doesn't have performance camshafts. The plain, brushed metal doesn't look quite as exciting against the shiny engine head, which I know is not really a measure of something that you care about when you're building an engine, but in this case, I think it would work. Since we are playing a game, after all, we're not actually building real engines. I mean, you couldn't just buy a stack of parts from a catalog and build an engine that works flawlessly every time. There would have to be things would have to be calibrated. Things would have to be calibrated and adjusted before it would run smoothly. And I mean, you might conceivably one time build an engine out of a mound of parts and have everything work perfectly right out of the box. But in my experience, you always have to spend a lot of time calibrating and adjusting and to get everything to really work smoothly. But then this is there's a lot less grease and skinned knuckles and bleeding involved in this kind of engine building, which I have to confess is significantly superior. Alright, and that is it. That really looks good here. The shiny intake manifold. It really looks nice. I think the front of that engine is mashed into the radiator. It is. Yeah, look at that. It's mashed right into the radiator fan. I hope I can get to the oil cap. Where is it? There it is. Okay, that should 100% the car. I was going to say car. That should 100% the truck. Yep, perfecto. Now we can test it. And this is going to be enormous. I mean, a fully upgraded V8. Starting at $395. $654, not too shabby. I mean, to double that, it would be what? 0, 19, 790 would be doubling the power. So we're 146 horsepower short of doubling it. Still, though, I mean that's a lot of horsepower in any vehicle. Move this thing and put it over there. Yeah. Let's open all the doors up. Boy, that thing is nice looking. I'm really impressed with how it came out. So it's essentially the same interior as the police one without the laptop. I like how the little display there has Domino's Pizza and Spotify. Is that like iHeartRadio? Google? Well, that's not Google. I don't think. That G. I think it's something else. That might be Chrome there. I don't know. Shouldn't be fooling around with the web, but you're driving a car though. Anyway. Yeah, it's a good looking interior. It's well done. And so, I mean, the model is well done. The interior is well done. It's too bad it's not like the showroom where you can push one button to open all the doors at once. Okay, let's take it for a test drive real quick. Oh, yes. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, wow. That's a really nice red. The one that I saw might have been a little bit brighter than this, but this is pretty dang close. Of course, this is metallic. I probably should have painted it with a satin finish. Anyway, let's see how it looks going down the track here. I like the wheels too. I really like the way the wheels set off the rest of it. I do think they should be bigger though. Probably should have gone with like 18s, maybe even 19s. That's another reason I wish I had an F-350 to compare this against. 'Cause I'm pretty sure the F-350 has bigger wheels from the get-go. It would fill those wheel wells out better. Oh, we're drifting way off to the right. Let's keep it straight. Tracking in a straight line really well. Starting to bounce. So 168. Yeah, I think for a pickup truck that's perfectly fine. Okay, cool. So we're done. The truck is really cleaned up well. Time to see how much it's worth. So $182,000 and change. Yep, $182,000. That seems reasonably acceptable for something like this. And as pleased as I am with how it looks, I think I'm going to take a picture for posterity's sake. Yeah, as pleased as I am with how it looks, I'm not going to keep it. So, shoot this out the door. And so, that will wrap this up. The RX-3 I will do on my own time, unless you guys want to see it. Let me know. Leave a comment if you'd like to see the RX-3 being done. If not, I'll probably finish it up and get it out of here at the same time as I finish up that car. So, or if you want to see the GT350 being finished up, let me know. Either way is fine. So, that will go ahead and bring this to a close. So, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope to see you again for our next Junkyard adventure. So on that note, bye for now.